Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am super excited to share with you a recipe, well not a recipe, but a technique. I'm going to be canning some tomatoes today. I was gifted several big bags of tomatoes from my niece. She brought them over this morning, and I was not even prepared to do this, but they need taken care of. So I'm going to go ahead and can these tomatoes. I haven't canned in a couple years, but you know, I've done it for so many years that it's like riding a bicycle. Once you do it, you just have to, you know, you learn. I'm going to show you these tomatoes here. And honestly, I forget what the brand of these. Look at this. Or not the brand, the type of these tomatoes. They are nice and big and long. This one's kind of neat looking. But she's got like 3 bags of these, and some regular tomatoes as well, that I really need to do something with them because they're starting to get some bad places in them, which is so simple and easy. You can just cut those bad places out, and they can just perfectly. One thing, there's different ways you can can tomatoes. Now, you can use a pressure cooker, or you can put them in a water bath after you get them in your cans, but I have never done that. I have been canning tomatoes since I was little with my parents. What we've always done is just cut them off. We get the skins off of them. Very easy technique. A little time consuming, like I said, but it's so worth it. And then we get them to a nice temperature, and we cook them down to our desired consistency of the tomato. And we just can them. I've been doing this for so many years, and they always turned out perfect. So I'm going to show you the way I can tomatoes, and you know, I hope this is a helpful video to you guys. So I'm excited about this. Got my green beans on the back of the stove cooking that she brought me as well. Oh, it smells so good in here, and I'm just like, it's going to be a good day today here on In the Kitchen with Sandy. Okay, first off, I've got a pot of boiling water here. I brought it to a boil, and this is what's going to help you get the skins removed from your tomatoes. So what you need to do is, gosh, there's so many of them, and like I said, we can just cut the bad areas out of there. You want to make sure that you get that out of there. If not, then your tomatoes won't take properly, and you might end up with a sour container of tomatoes, and you definitely don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently drop them down into that boiling water. I've turned it down on low, but it was boiling. And what this is going to do is I will show you. I hate to put that one in there. I feel like just drawing a little face on it. You know what I'm saying? But what's going to happen is that skin is going to peel away from the tomato. I'm going to put as many as I can fit in here. Look at that. They're floating. These are just going to take a good... Do you hear that chicken out back there? That's not my chicken. I'm just going to give these a good 3 or 4 minutes, just until the skin starts peeling on them. And you know, a good trick too is to get it started. It's what we always done. I always remember Mom and Dad doing this, and I did it as well. If you just take a knife and just kind of poke in each one of them, it helps the skin start giving an area. Look at that. See? Can you see that? Get a little closer. My glasses are dirty. I can't even see all my glasses. But if you can see right there, see how the skin is already starting to peel away from... I get my finger all the way. I'm just going to raise it up here and show you. See how the skin has already started peeling away from the tomato. So we're just going to let those sit down in there for just a couple minutes until the skin is all nice and soft, and then we're going to put them into a bowl and let them cool off a little bit so we can handle them. Got my green beans going on in the background here, and you guys know I'm sharing this with you. Oh, they smell so good, and that handle is so hot. Yum, yum, yum. One thing about me when I cook green beans, I know we're doing a tomato video, but you gotta listen to me anyway. When I cook green beans, I like to taste them as I'm cooking them. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Yes. Hot, but yes. Yum. Once the skin has started peeling off of them, in which these are perfect, what you're going to do is you're just going to take them and put them in a nice big bowl. Now, if some of the skin's not coming off some of them, just go ahead and leave them in there for a few more minutes. And like I said, you definitely want to keep your heat on low, so it will ensure that the skin just starts coming off there. Right, now I'm going to show you what I like to use here. I'm going to go ahead and get started peeling these so I can, you know, get this process going here. I like to use my nice big pot here that I have right here. So what we're going to do is very simple, very easy. I like to take just a couple bags here, like dollar store bags, Kroger bags, grocery store bags. There's a receipt. We're going to make sure there's no money in it. So easy. We're going to go. I wish my kitchen was bigger so I could show you guys a little better space here. But I just kind of do it like an assembly line here, and what I do is, this makes for easy cleanup. So I just put all my unwanted stuff in there. But see, look how easy those skins peel. And like I said, you want to wait until they cool off a little bit. I mean, this is still a little hot. I'm just trying to get started here, because these do take a little bit of time to do. Look at that. And then what I like to do is I just cut the top of it off. You know, get the stem part out of there, and you can cut that right out of there. And then I just take it and, you know, slice it into my big pot. If you don't want to slice them, you don't have to slice them, but you know, it just takes a little bit longer. Woo, that's hot. To cook down if you do not cut them. And like I said, these are a very meaty tomato. I've never worked with these as far as canning them, but I think that they're going to be just beautiful. I think they're going to work out beautiful because they are so meaty. I'm going to do one more for you. Again, look at that. Here's one with a bad spot in it. Now, here's a quick tip. For you to not use this tomato, what you need to do is honestly stick it up to your nose if it smells at all soured. And don't be afraid to cut a nice hunk out of it to make sure the bad part's out of it. You know, don't be afraid to waste a little bit of the tomato, because you definitely don't want to put a bad piece of tomato in your tomatoes. But I just take a nice, I smell it, and if it's got a sour smell to it, then you just want to toss it. You do not want to use it. I mean, there is gonna, you might have quite a bit of waste on some of them, but that's quite all right. I mean, I'd rather be safe than sorry. You'd hate for a whole jar of tomatoes to go bad, you know. And that one had a spot on as well. So I'm just going to cut that and put that in there. Like I said, if you don't want to cut them, it just takes the process a little bit longer to cook them down. I like to do it, so that's just me. Okay, I got all of my tomatoes peeled and cut up and put in my big old stock pot here. So what I've done is I put it on top of my stove, and I'm just going to cook these. I'm going to cook these down pretty little. I like them, I don't like them real super chunky, but I still like, you know, quite a bit of chunk to them, if that makes sense. But we're going to cook these down low and slow. You want to make sure that they're down on low and bring them up to a boil, and then you're just going to make sure that you stir them constantly. And this is a good time to spoon through them and make sure that you've gotten all of your little pieces out that you don't really want in there. Sometimes I find like pieces of the peeling and stuff like that, but you just want to make sure that you stir them constantly, and I'll bring you back here and show you what they look like periodically, how they are progressing and cooking down. These have been cooking probably for about 20-25 minutes. I'm going to cook them a little bit longer. As you see, they are breaking up nicely. And what I like to do to help them along is kind of just scoop it up there and just kind of cut into it with my spoon, if you can see what I'm doing there. Oh my goodness. These look so beautiful, but I do like them smaller than that, so I always just kind of cut them up here with my spoon. Daisy May, stop it. This is about the size that I like them. I'll show you when I can my tomatoes. See those little pieces in there? I like them a little bit bigger than that. Oh, look, there's a piece of skin. See, like I said, you always find, you know, something you may have missed. All right, my tomatoes are done. They cooked, honestly, about 35-40 minutes once they became or come to a boil. And like I said, I just cut them up to the size that I want, and they're nice and they're soft and tender. So I think these are going to turn out really well. You see how small I like mine. I like to see a little chunky, but still kind of small. And these are going to be so good in some, you know, chili or macaroni and tomatoes or homemade soup, or, you know, really just anything you want to. If you look back here, if you can see, I've got my lids that I've got cleaned really well, and I've got them in some boiling water, and those are ready to go. I've got my jars washed and ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with getting this into the cans. All right, I'm going to show you what I like to do, just to kind of save, you know, a mess. You want to make sure that your tomatoes remain boiling for this process. I'm just going to kind of keep stirring them there. You want to make sure you don't want them to cool off at all. So just let them continue to boil. I got my ladle here that we're going to use to scoop the tomatoes out with. And this is just a little thing that I've had this since I was little. This was my mom's, but you can buy these, and this fits right over the jars just like that, and it allows you to place your tomatoes down in there without, you know, making a not too big of a mess. I still make a mess, but not too big of a mess. But like I said, my jars are nice and washed. So what I'm going to do first, before each time that I'm going to put them in the jars, I like to take them over and run them under some really hot water so they are nice and tempered, and the jars are, you know, kind of hot for when the hot tomatoes go in there. Everything is like a hot process. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with getting one of my jars hot here. I just kind of run it under some hot water. Then I'm going to place it right in there immediately. Give my tomatoes another stir. I left my sink running in the background with another jar in the sink, filling it up so it'll get nice and tempered, so when I'm ready for that. I also need I don't know what happened to my tongs. Olivia tried to get me to get some the other day when we went to Walmart, but guess what? I didn't get them. So what you're going to do is take your tomatoes. I'm going to get this close as I possibly can. And this is to keep it from, you know, going all over your stove. And I just kind of ladle them out in there. I kind of keep an eye on and make sure that I'm not doing just all tomatoes. See, that's a lot of tomatoes there. And that's like 3 spoons. So then I start doing some of the juice as well. Until you have a nice full jar of tomatoes. Now you want to make sure that they're pretty full. You don't want to leave a whole lot of room up in there. And I think that's perfect. Look at that. Yes, that's perfect. And I just set that to the side. Don't forget to give your tomatoes another stir, because like I said, you don't want them to scorch. And then you need to take a towel, a clean towel, and you want to make sure that you wipe off the outside of the lid. And the reason why you do that is because you want to make sure that there is no tomato seeds or anything that's going to prevent that from, you know, a perfect seal. So just wipe that off. And then I'm going to fish out one of my lids, place it right on top. And then one of my other lids. And then you want to just make sure that you get it on there right. You know, you don't want to get it on there cockeyed or whatever. And then I just take my towel and I tighten it. Then I wipe it off. And then what I do is, and then I just place it lid side down right on a nice, clean, dry towel. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial of how to can tomatoes without using a pressure cooker or a water bath or any of that stuff. Like I said, we've been doing this for years, many years. Since I was little, I used to help mom and dad can all their tomatoes. So look how beautiful they are. I ended up getting 4 jars out of this. I know, it doesn't seem like that much, does it? And I had a little bit left over. Not enough to go in a jar, so I'm going to add a little salt to these. And I'm going to enjoy the work that I put into them. It's like a little treat. I hope you like this recipe. Not this recipe. I hope you like this video. You know I love you guys so very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.